Hello दोस्तों नमस्कार वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल एंड इट्स टाइम फॉर ISL Gameweek 2 review. So without wasting any time, sir, straight away moving on to the Gameweek 2. Interesting game week. We have seen a couple of really good match, some of the really boring matches. We have seen some really great goal, a goal from Indian striker, and there are a couple of really good goal from the foreigners also. So it's a mixed week. First match, Goa versus Mohammedan. I think this match should be called as a game of missed chances because गोवा ने जिस तरह के चांसेस मिस किए, इवन आई थिंक मोहम्मदान ने भी सेकंड हाफ में दे वर अनलकी क्योंकि एक तो ऐसे क्लियर कट चांसेस थे कि वो फिनिश नहीं कर पाए. सो कैसा लगा आपको गेम वीक 2 एंड गोवा वर्सेस मोहम्मदान का मैच?
Overall, Hiren, as you say, a very interesting game week. Not too many surprises. I think the biggest surprise to me would be that Odisha FC were able to hold Inter Kashi to a goalless draw. I think that's the biggest surprise. Otherwise, according to plan. And if we go to Mountain Sporting versus FC Goa, yeah, 2-0. If you just see the result, you would think, okay, TK, expected. Goa got their goals in the first half, but overall, Goa is not the same Goa. We spoke about it last week. And Mountain Sporting, yeah, the big question is who's going to score the goals. I think if they would have someone as a goal scorer, maybe something could be possible. But given this scenario, I think Wadu and his team will have to fight relegation.
आई ऑल्सो थिंक द सेम. वो सही बोला आपने कि मोहम्मदान के पास वही एक चीज लेकर रही है कि वो प्रूवन गोल स्कोरर नहीं है. अदरवाइज आई थिंक हमने जो दोनों मैचेस उन्होंने खेले अभी तक उसमें देखा है कि दे आर एबल टू रीच इनटू द फाइनल थर्ड ऑफ ओपोनेंट और टू क्रिएट दोस चांसेस टू स्कोर अ गोल. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो फिनिशिंग और वो जो आपको एक यहाँ पे प्रूवन स्ट्राइकर चाहिए वो आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं लैक कर रहे हैं. और गोवा आई एग्री कि यहाँ पे जिस डोमिनेंस के साथ हमने प्रीवियस सीजन में देखा है उतना डोमिनेंट टीम नहीं दिख रही है. ऑब्वियसली they are missing their key foreigners, but still I think it's a good win, first win of the season for them. इंटरकाशी वाला मैच ड्रॉ रहा था तो उसके बाद आई थिंक दिस इज अ गुड कमबैक एंड लेट्स सी आगे किस तरह से यहाँ पे कितने और मैचेस में वो इस मोमेंटम को वो बरकरार रखते हैं. बट उसके बाद वाला जो मैच था ना सर, ईस्ट बंगाल वर्सेस एससी दिल्ली, फॉर मी दिस वाज द मोस्ट एंटरटेनिंग और अटैकिंग गेम ऑफ द गेम वीक 2. मजा आया देख के. दोनों टीमों ने अटैकिंग ब्रांड ऑफ फुटबॉल खेला. स्कोर लाइन से आपको ये लग सकता है कि भाई ईस्ट बंगाल ने यहाँ पे पूरा डोमिनेट किया होगा, किया डोमिनेट, बट आई वुड से कि एससी दिल्ली विद देयर यंगस्टर आई थिंक पुट अप ए गुड फाइट. एंड वो जो एक दो इंडिविजुअल एरर नहीं होता, जैसे विशाल यादव ने वो गोलकीपिंग में एरर किया टू कंसीड दैट गोल, या फिर आपका यहाँ पे जो पेनल्टी कंसीड किया वो भी यहाँ पे इट कुड बी अवॉइडेबल. एंड जो जिस तरीके से एससी दिल्ली ने इस मैच की शुरुआत की थी सर, आते ही 4th मिनट पे वो गोल मार दिया था यहाँ पे ऑगस्टिन ने. दैट वाज अ ब्रिलियंट गोल बाय द वे फ्रॉम दैट एंगल. सो स्कोर लाइन आपको जस्टिफाई नहीं कर रही है परफॉर्मेंस, बट इट वाज अ गुड परफॉर्मेंस फ्रॉम एससी दिल्ली आल्सो.
Yes, Hiren, I think, as you say, no, Augustine, early goal, then that equalizer, again, a good shot from Edmund, but again, Vishal has to just save it. And then the penalty, of course, which was never a penalty, right? I mean, we've had a lot of East Bengal fans complaining about penalties or fouls or red cards or this and that not given to them. This time, it was in their favor. Of course, the third goal, Ezejari, yeah, class goal. Fourth one, Miguel, also was a class goal, but if we look at the 3-1 second half, SC Delhi had more of the ball, had more of the chances, but couldn't finish it off. Who knows if they'd scored a second, what would be the outcome? As you say, the 4-1 result is, I think, too pleasing to East Bengal. But again, for East Bengal Football Club, it's very, very important at the start of the season. 2 games, 2 wins, top of the table, plus 6 goal difference. That will give them a lot of confidence. While SC Delhi, as in the game against Bangalore FC, need to avoid mistakes and score more goals up front.
बट ईस्ट बंगाल की सर बात करें थोड़ा सा, तो जिस तरीके की उन्होंने इस सीजन की कैंपेन की शुरुआत की है, एंड डेफिनेटली यहाँ पे फैंस भी उसके बारे में बात करें कि दे आर वन ऑफ द टाइटल कंटेंडर विथ मोहन बगान. ऑफेंसिवली मेरे को अभी भी ईस्ट बंगाल में कोई इश्यूज नहीं दिख रहे हैं, बट आई थिंक डिफेंसिवली दे नीड टू बी, आई थिंक विल बी मच मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर, बिकॉज जब आप स्ट्रॉन्गर टीम लाइक मोहन बगान और उस तरह की टीमों को फेस करेंगे, देन आई थिंक आपकी जो बैकलाइन है उसका रियल टेस्ट होगा. एंड वहां पे कहीं ना कहीं आप देखिए जिस तरह से उन्होंने पहला मैच भी खेला था इवन नॉर्थ ईस्ट के सामने, या फिर ये जो मैच खेला एससी दिल्ली के सामने, वहां पे भी कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा सा I would say कि defensively they could been better, and Saul Crespo and Kevin Sibley का अभी तक ना होना, आई थिंक वो भी एक इम्पोर्टेंट चीज रहेगा मेरे हिसाब से कि कितना जल्दी वो उनके लिए अवेलेबल होते हैं, या फिर यहाँ पे उनमें से कोई प्लेयर पूरा सीजन मिस आउट करता है, वो देखना रहेगा. सो आई थिंक दैट इज द एरिया ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट यू आर सीइंग फ्रॉम ईस्ट बंगाल, या फिर आपको लगता है कि नहीं दे आर यू कैन से की परफेक्टली फाइन.
You nailed it to me. I mean, the defense, with Jigson and Anwar Ali as centre backs, Nunga and Jay Gupta on the wings, yeah, has been tested. You see the first goal from Augustin, then you know that at one feint, one movement, and suddenly the defense is exposed. Against better teams, it will be tougher. The question is again, when does Kevin come back? Saul Crespo's injury, is it serious? Is it not? Those are questions to be asked. But up front they have options, and the question is how does that puzzle work? So that's going to be the question for Oscar to sort out. At the moment, again, it looks very very good, but again, you still have 11 more matches to play. The opponents will get tougher, and then the real test will come for East Bengal.
And the last comment on that match is about the two foreigners of East Bengal. I think Miguel and Yusuf Ezazari, straight away they are making that impact, and clearly it's you can see ki their gameplay influencing the overall performance of East Bengal. So I think that's the perfect signing for Oscar Buzon and East Bengal to get that kind of a performance, because we are seeing couple of other clubs की जिनके foreigners यहाँ पे आके थोड़ा सा settle down होने में time ले रहे हैं, but Yusuf Ezazari straight away getting into the team and making that impact. Even Miguel, the way he is playing, I think absolutely treat to watch. So that's good to see. Moving on to the third match, sir. Jamshedpur versus Punjab FC. For me, this was a boring match, honestly. And इसको boring बनाने में जो ज़्यादा रोल रहा है वो मेरे को जमशेदपुर का लगा है, because पंजाब एफसी ने फिर भी कुछ थोड़ा सा फुटबॉल खेलने की कोशिश कर रहे थे टाइप, दैट little bit you can say कि hostile football as English coach most of the do. So कैसा लगा आपको ये मैच? एंड जो गोल भी आया, इट वाज अ लकी गोल. अर्शदीप सिंह का वो यहाँ पे रिबाउंड पे उन्होंने विंसी बेरेटो का वो स्कोर किया, बट आई थिंक फेयर रिजल्ट वुड बी अ ड्रॉ. बट व्हाट्स योर थॉट?
The less we talk about this match, the better. Because yeah, it was the most boring match of this round, maybe one of the most boring matches of the season. Because as you say, Jamshedpur FC, I don't know if they wanted to play football or not play football. Punjab tried, but Punjab was lacking. Was lacking in the final third. Effiong hasn't had no impact as a striker. Mohamed Suhail, a lot has been said about him, limited impact. Danny Ramirez tried his bit here and there, but again was not able to create those chances. And in the end, yeah, that Arshdeep clearance, even jokingly, I said during the live, again, you and I could have stood there, and Ani could have pushed the ball over the line. So again, yes, Vinci was just lucky to be there at that moment. But Jamshedpur have 6 points, formed 2 matches. Again, also the Mohammedan Sporting match was not too inspiring, despite having players like Madi Talal, having players like Messi Boli, Reita Chikawa, Stojanovic. They have potential creativity in there. We've Mohamed Sanan, Ritvik Das. So yeah, I mean, the next test is East Bengal. Both the teams are on 6 points, and let's see what Jamshedpur do in Kolkata. I guess they will stick to this destructive way of football to deny their opponents to play football.
But the most disappointing part for me was exactly you said कि they have those players कि जो जिससे आप यहाँ पे bet with his team. I think is not looking that great in terms of the fans viewing experience wise. So that is what it is. Let's see कितना आगे तक वो इस फुटबॉल से यहाँ पे result grind कर सकते हैं. That is the most important part at the end of the day, because that will count on the point table. So that is going to be interesting thing to see. But Punjab FC के लिए I think they would be disappointed with this result. At least they deserve it, but that is what it is. Moving on to the next match, and that is Bangalore FC versus Northeast, sir. And Northeast ने finally I would say कि after that first match heavy loss against East Bengal, Bengal made a little bit comeback, and the talk of the point of that match was the Rinzola's goal. So first of all, what's your reaction on that goal? Because we see very rarely that kind of a goal scored by the Indian striker particularly.
Um, Brilliant goal. I mean, if I look at that goal from Rinzwala, it's class. Huh? It's the ball, the way he connects to the ball, and then how he shoots and scores with the outside of his boot. World class goal, and yeah, it's puts pressure on him because now on social media he's the next Sunil Chetri. With also that picture when he gets, being subbed on Sunil in the background and all the kind of things. Rinzwala now
Substituted.
has to prove himself because this goal was class. But now the question is, can he be a starting player? Can he be a player to get regular game time? And yeah, that's the thing that he will have to now prove.
Also, the goal from Brian Sanchez was also brilliant. I think the way he created that space for him and the way he finished it, I think it was a great goal. No doubt, Northeast defense could have been better in that particular situation. I think, but it was a good goal from Brian Sanchez. थोड़ा सा मैं आई थिंक बेंगलुरु एफसी के ओवरऑल जो फर्स्ट मैच में जिस तरह से उन्होंने खेला था, आई थिंक थोड़ा सा मैं लेट डाउन हुआ हूँ इन दी सेकंड मैच, क्योंकि अगर गुरप्रीत सिंह संधू यहाँ पे गोल पे नहीं होते, I think they could have lost this match because he made a 3-4 really good save throughout the match, and थोड़ा सा मेरे को बेंगलुरु एफसी compared to first match, I think performance wise I drop होती हुई दिखी. What's your thought about the Bengaluru FC's performance?
Yeah, I mean, they looked more convincing in the opener against SC Delhi, even though SC Delhi also had their opportunities and chances. Um, the longer the match lasts, the more Northeast seem to not only get into the game but also take charge of the game. I think we need to expect more from a midfield which contains Fanai, Suresh, and Brian Sanchez. But yeah, not every time Sunil can come on and score a world class goal as he did in the first game. So therefore, quite a bit of work remaining for Renedy and his team to be better in the upcoming matches.
Yeah, and moving on to the next match, and that is Kerala Blaster versus Mumbai City FC. आपने जैसे बोला कि जमशेदपुर वर्सेस पंजाब वाज बोरिंग मैच, तो ये मैच ने मेरे को सबसे ज्यादा डिसअपॉइंट किया इन टर्म्स ऑफ द hype this match created due to that controversy of the stadium. जो एक हाइप क्रिएट हुआ था या फिर एक जो बिल्डअप हुआ था इस मैच का कि भाई केरला ब्लास्टर कमिंग अप विद दैट स्टेडियम इशू एंड फाइनली मैच इज हैपनिंग, क्योंकि एक दिन पहले तक पता नहीं था कि होगा नहीं होगा, रात को 10 बजे सारी चीजें क्लियर होती है. एंड देन उसके बाद जिस तरह से केरला ब्लास्टर ने खेला ना सर, ऑनेस्टली आई एम डिसअपॉइंटेड बिकॉज केरला ब्लास्टर मतलब मैं समझता हूँ कि आपके नए प्लेयर आ रहे हैं, आपको कम यहाँ पे यू कैन से कि प्रिपरेशन का टाइम मिला है, सब कुछ समझ में आता है, बट स्टिल आई डोंट नो, मतलब मेरे को वो फील नहीं आ रहा है उनके प्लेयरों से वो कि वो उस इंटेंट के साथ खेल. जैसे कल हम बात करेंगे ओडिशा वर्सेस इंटरकाशी, बट ओडिशा एफसी के प्लेयर्स आप देखिए उनसे भी ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन से आ रहे थे, लेकिन वो एक इंटेंट दिखा वो केरला ब्लास्टर प्लेयरों में सीट लगा. एंड सामने सिटी आई थिंक अवे मैच में जिस तरह से उन्होंने फर्स्ट मैच खेला था उससे आई थिंक बेटर किया उन्होंने, द वे दे प्लेड अगेंस्ट चेन्नई एफसी, उससे कई गुना बेटर मुंबई सिटी ने इस मैच को खेला. एंड यहाँ पे वो पेनल्टी मिस भी हमने देखा परेरा डियाज की ओर से, अदरवाइज स्कोर लाइन कुड बी 2-0. एंड देन सेकंड हाफ में जिस तरह से चांगते ने वो गोल मारा इन दी रिबाउंड, एंड आई थिंक ही वाज रियली प्रोएक्टिव इन दैट सिचुएशन. आप देखिए कि वो गोल अगर आप सर देखेंगे तो आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि आप रिप्ले में गोल देख रहे हो, क्योंकि केरला ब्लास्टर के प्लेयर्स वहां पे क्लियरली देख रहे हैं और नो वन इज मार्किंग हिम और नोवेयर यू कैन सी कि इज नियर टू हिम इनसाइड द बॉक्स. सो फॉर मी केरला ब्लास्टर वाज रियली डिसअपॉइंटेड इन दिस मैच.
I think with Kerala Blasters, I think we spoke a lot about the whole pre-match situation. The issues surrounding the Nehru Stadium, which is shocking to think in a state like Kerala, which is football crazy. Um, I think the reality is that this Kerala Blasters team still hasn't settled. There's a lot of new players who've come in who don't know the league. I think they took a gamble by trying to sign those foreigners, giving them an opportunity. Katala, to me, sounds very honest as a coach in his assessment of where he sees his team. And it is going to be a tough season for the Blasters. But I think one thing which I realize, which I see on social media a lot regarding the Blasters at the moment, is that the fans are skeptical. Some of the fans are turning away. Some of the fans came back because of this whole stadium issue. I think the fans need to now back the team. It's a very difficult phase for the Blasters. I think that's clear to me. But to me, the question now is, can you turn this around? Who's going to score you the goals? Who's going to create? So there's a lot of questions for the Blasters to answer. While on the other side, if I look at Mumbai City, a lot of questions asked about Mumbai City, City Football Group leaving, late signings of Nuno Reis and Yoni Kauko, and both those players have had huge impact. Besides also Pereira Diaz, Mumbai City missed Jorge Ortiz, but Changte playing as a captain. Hey, Mumbai City, could be, if they continue this way, could be a top three candidate. I think that is possible if they keep this together, because to go to Kerala to win this, also as you say, the way the goal was scored, if you see the celebrations also of Changte of the team, um, there is something in Mumbai City which makes it very dangerous as a team for the rest of the league.
True, absolutely agree. Then moving on to the next match, and that is Mohan Bagan versus Chennai FC. Too easy for Mohan Bagan to win this match, and again another disappointing team was for me Chennai FC. I think Clifford Miranda losing the plot, no doubt. It's too early to say. It's just second match, but to be honest, the team played really bad football and looks completely disoriented, disconnected. अगेन जैसे हमने जमशेदपुर का बात किया, ऐसा नहीं है कि चेन्नई एफसी के पास बिल्कुल यहाँ पे प्लेयर नहीं है. आप देखिए मोहम्मदन एससी से तो आई वुड से कि अगर कंपेयर करेंगे, इवन इंडियन प्लेयर, दे हैव अ कपल ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस प्लेयर एंड द फॉरेनर्स, स्टिल दे डिडंट लुक लाइक कि भाई दे आर प्लेइंग दैट काइंड ऑफ, इवन मोहम्मदन एससी और इवन ओडिशा एफसी ने जैसा खेला, जिस तरीके की इंटेंट दिखाई, बस अभी नहीं यहाँ पे दिख रहा था. एंड मोहन बगान जैसे सामने टीम थे, आई थिंक दे आर लकी कि स्कोर लाइन इज ओनली 2-0. इट कुड बी ना बिगर अगर मोहन बगान फुल फ्लो में और फुल यू कैन से कि एफिशिएंसी के साथ खेलते, स्कोर लाइन कुड बी ना मच मोर बिगर.
On one side, yes, but I thought in the first 15-20 minutes, there was a certain level of intent with Chennai, right? The final or the second final pass wasn't coming. And then thereafter, Mohun Bagan took full charge of the game and controlled. And, Jeremy Clarence scores a very good goal. Good to see Apuya, Thapa controlling that midfield. Robson Robinho has been in there as well. Liston Colossus has been better on the right than on the left. Interesting to see that. Some good balls, some good passes into the danger zone. And of course, Alberto Rodriguez at the back, right? He doesn't have Tom Alder at the moment. He has Mehtab next to him, but Alberto Rodriguez certainly one of the best defenders in the league. So if I sum this up, that is that. Abhishek Abhimitay has to do more, right, as a right back, put under pressure on a number of occasions against Irfan Yadwad, but unlucky not also to play 90 minutes. He could have been sent off, right? There were one or two occasions where he could have been sent off. And Chennai, yeah, I mean, they've brought in a lot of experience. Noguera, Bemamer, they're 36, right? With Namte in the midfield, that looks good. El Senor, Pritham, okay. I thought the injury to Nawaz weakened them. Shomik Mitra to me was not as good as Mohamed Nawaz. And I think the biggest disappointment up front is Inigo, because there was a lot of talk, 26-year-old Spanish striker coming to the ISL. Oh, you know what? Chennai have someone, but that guy has not fired at all. So, he has to be dangerous. Let's see. I don't know, Chimachuku visa ka problem hai, or, is there an injury? I've not seen or heard anything about it. If Chimachuku comes back, maybe that gives them an outlet, because I think Chennai are missing an outlet. We saw also Gurkirat coming on, but Gurkirat not being that dangerous really. Okay, he got that one shot towards the goal. But this is, as you say, for Clifford and the team, it's not good enough. It has potential, at least on paper. It has much more potential. But the first two matches didn't convince me. They have a lot of work to do.
Absolutely. And the last point I want to talk about them is the Mohan Bagan's double pivot. I think Apuya and Thapa is looking really good and making, I think, impact in the game.
Mm.
We talk about McLaren, we talk about Petratos, Alberto Rodriguez, as you mentioned, but I think the impact of Thapa and Apuya as a double pivot, I think, is working really well for Mohan Bagan and the coach. So your thought about that, because I think the way that goal came, the brilliant pass from Thapa, that was brilliant.
I feel this is the best Thapa we've seen since maybe even Chennai FC days, right? At Mohun Bagan at the moment, right? I think he's never had this sort of fluidity. I
True.
think it's helping him that Lobera is giving him the freedom. Apuya staying back, dropping. Apuya is our best midfielder. Um, you mentioned Petratos. I think this has also been the best Petratos we've seen in a while. McLaren is McLaren, and this Mohun Bagan team is playing much more free flowing football than what we've seen in the last few years. So therefore, these things are there, and yeah, they're the defending champions, and they are at the end of the day the team to beat.
Moving on to the last match of the game week 2, and that is Odisha versus Intercasi, ended up in a goalless draw. But Odisha FC behind the scene, जिस hardship, जिस uncertainty के साथ आ रहे थे, playing after 10 months, just had a 3-4 training session, playing with one foreigner under a new head coach, TG Purushottam. I think the way they put up a fight, or I would say, मैं football की बात नहीं कर रहा, I think the just the fight and intent from the player was commendable. I think football was not that great from either of the team. I think Intercasi also disappointed me in this match compared to first match against FC Goa. So football overall, the match quality is not that great, but I think the intent from the Odisha FC player was commendable despite all the challenges.
I couldn't have said it better. I was impressed with Odisha FC. But again, afterwards, when you look at the lineup, you have a Carlos Delgado. You've got 8 Indian players who have been around the Indian national team, so they have experience, and that experience showed. A lot of these players have played for the club, and again, it is. In the second half, I would have thought Odisha FC were closer to a win than Interkashi. Interkashi disappointed overall. Interkashi did not get to the level of football that I think we expected after the Goa match. They played very well against FC Goa in Goa, and this was disappointing at the Kalinga. And the credit goes, as you say, to Purushothaman, to his assistant Jopal Ancheri, to all the players, to people at the club to get this all going. And if Odisha FC can keep this up, and if Odisha FC can get results, maybe Odisha FC will not be fighting relegation after all. Right? If they can keep this up, if they can get some results, because I thought,
Yeah.
Isak Ralte, VP Suhair, or Rahim Ali, a little bit better finishing here or there. Who knows? They might win the game, and that is a surprise to me. But again, at the end, experience quality is there in this squad, despite all the problems, and we have to wait and see. Well, Interkashi to me, um, I don't know if you saw Habas on the sidelines. I said yesterday in the live, I would not like to be an Interkashi player at the post-match dressing room conversation with Habas, because that would not have been nice. If you saw, he was stylish,
Hmm.
no, with his specs and with his jacket and all. The jacket was gone, the
Goggles.
specs were gone, so all of that was gone. Habas was, Habas surely was on fire. So. Um, and this is also what I think we'll see again and again, that, a team plays well, you expect something, and then the next match day, they can't deliver. So that will be, very interesting to see in the coming days and weeks. But yeah, this is the ISL this season, and you will see a lot of up and downs from a lot of teams.
अगर वो एंटोनियो हबास का वो पोस्ट मैच ड्रेसिंग रूम टॉक्स अगर वीडियो पब्लिकली कर दी जाए, आई थिंक दैट वुड बी अ मच मोर एंटरटेनिंग देन दैट मैच. So on that note, wrapping up, before the wrap up, sorry, एक
Mm.
थोड़ा सा प्रिडिक्शन भी कर लेते हैं नेक्स्ट गेम वीक का, गेम वीक 3 का. So quickly, sir, looking into the matches of game week 3. The first match is gonna be a Goa versus Sporting Delhi. What's your expectation from that match?
I expect Goa to win. I would say a 2-1. What is yours?
Okay, so you are, I think, I'm also going with, I think maybe 2-0 win for Goa. I think, yeah, Goa.
Mhm.
Then the second match, East Bengal versus Jamshedpur. Both the team coming up with the back-to-back wins.
I think it's a real test for East Bengal against Jamshedpur, but I would think that East Bengal will score a 1-0 win.
I will go with yeah. I also have same prediction scoreline. I think 1-0 or maybe a 2-1 kind of a win for
Yeah,
East Bengal.
yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
agree. Then the third match, sir, Bengaluru versus Punjab.
It's an interesting one, but it's a tricky one as well. Not sure fully, but I think it could be a 1-1 draw.
Mhm.
What's your prediction?
Uh, I also have a feeling of a draw, sir. Yeah, I also have a feeling of a draw. To be honest, I think both the team are offensively might score one or two goal, but I think also gonna concede. So yeah, I also going with draw. Yeah, 1-1 draw. Then Kerala Blaster versus Inter. This is a little bit, I think, gonna be interesting match. Kerala versus Intercastle.
Blasters under pressure, under a lot of pressure, because now they need to start getting the points. Otherwise, they'll be stuck at the bottom. Interkashi, a lot of hype after the Goa game, a lot of disappointment now, as we just spoke about after the Odisha game. Um, I think it would be I don't know. I think a 1-0 for Interkashi. Sorry to my Kerala Blasters friends, but but my feeling is, yeah, Interkashi may be the 1-0 win.
I'm going with a goalless draw. I think it's gonna be
Okay.
a goalless draw.
It was for me between a draw and a win for Interkashi. It was either a 0-0 or 1-1 or a 1-0 for Interkashi. I went for a 1-0 for Interkashi.
Okay, okay. Then the Kolkata Derby, sir. Mohan Bagan versus Mohammedan SC. Clear favorite Mohan Bagan, I think. मैं अपना पहले prediction उसमें दूँ, तो I think it's gonna be a 3-1, 3-0 kind of a win for Mohan Bagan.
I would have said 3-0. Next game.
Okay, that's perfect.
Hmm.
Odisha Chennaiyin. This is two really unsettled side. So क्या
Yeah,
लग
but
रहा है Odisha Chennai?
I would think Odisha. I think Chennai will be put under pressure. I think Odisha will win this 1-0 or 2-1, but I think Odisha will win
Hmm.
this. If again, the problem is we're going by performance so far, and I thought that performance last night from Odisha FC was very, very strong. Therefore, I go with Odisha FC.
I also have the same feeling. I think Odisha will put up a good fight and maybe win by a scoreline of 1-0 kind of a win. So yeah. Last match of the game week 3 is gonna be between Mumbai City versus Northeast United FC, sir. Uh, Two interesting sides. I have a feeling of draw. What's your thought?
Mumbai City win. I think Mumbai City is settled at home with the confidence of 2 wins. I would think at least a 1-0. Actually, I'm trending more to a 2-0 win for Mumbai City, especially after last season's 0-3 draw, a loss
So
to
that's it
Northeast
from.
United. Hmm. Sorry.
सो दैट्स इट फ्रॉम आवर साइड दोस्तों। आपका भी गेम वीक 3 का क्या प्रिडिक्शन है कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर बताइएगा। एंड ऑल्सो गेम वीक 2 में आपको कौन सा मैच सबसे बढ़िया लगा, आपका कौन सा बेस्ट मोमेंट था गेम वीक 2 का, वो ज़रूर आप कमेंट में शेयर कर सकते हैं। एंड मिलते हैं गेम वीक 3 के साथ, तब तक के लिए भाई डू चेक आउट क्यूरियसरी एंड अरुण फूड, दोनों चैनल को लाइक, शेयर, सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा। एंड ऐसे ही इस सीज़न के सारे गेम वीक के रिव्यू के लिए प्लीज़ डू सब्सक्राइब बोथ द चैनल। टेक केयर, बाय बाय, जय हिंद, जय भारत।